Okay, so today we have Dharshani Sivakumar with us for this wonderful podcast series with Inside Success. So I'll give a brief background about Dharshani. So she is a tutor, soft skill and verbal trainer. Also, she had a good background with corporate training and everything. So I would like Dharshani to introduce herself so we can start with the podcast.
Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. And first of all, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So, talking about myself, I'm basically an artist and a baker turned into a corporate trainer. So, why I got into this kind of an industry is because I just had only one thing in my mind where if I'm making money out of something, it has to impact lives also. That's why I chose this particular industry because seeing that other individuals life changing because me as a mediator for them, seeing that smile in their face is so gratifying. What you get for more than a paycheck, what you get in your hand. That's about me in short.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So I'll start. Uh, how you came into this? What was the initial stage? How is it was? And just brief about your professional journey and how you arrived at your current role.
Okay. uh, Early from my early education and in college, I was that kind of an individual who was never afraid of stage. I never had stage fright as a child or as an individual. And many a times I found myself doing MC, hosting programs, even in schools, colleges, or rather in many events. I think that triggered this to become a trainer because my favorite place would be a stage and a mic.
Okay.
As a kid, I always played with microphones, but I never knew that it will shape my future to what I'm doing. And
Hmm.
yes, recently I completed my first Tedx talk, which was an unforgettable experience, which cannot be explained in words. So that's how I ended up in this kind of a role today and
Great.
still impacting 1,500 plus children's life.
Okay. So I'd like to ask, where do you see yourself after 5 to 10 years?
Impacting more people, traveling the world,
Okay.
say giving not only trainings but even giving notes, speeches, addressing even people around in this rural background who's not getting that kind of opportunities or that life skills which they don't have. So that is something which I'm looking to go forward in doing in the coming down the lane of 5 years.
Okay, that's great. So, so what impacted you, or whom do you really admire as a trainer or as a mentor? Would you like to name someone whom you follow always?
Thank you for this wonderful question. Firstly, I would mention my parents and my brother, but a special mention to my late father, who was a big support in the career what I'm doing today. And the two other people, when I was doing my training, when I was in the process of becoming a trainer, somebody came and told me, why don't you learn NLP? NLP is nothing but it's called neuro linguistic programming. It's a tool which is being used in one-on-one coaching as well as in training. So that those two mentors is their name is Karthik and Gauri. They have played a huge role in the journey, in my transformation journey, where they have played a huge role of, you know, guiding people at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So that played a huge role in my transformation, especially thanks to goes to my coach who's Gauri. So I
Okay.
learned a lot of NLP, emotional intelligence, a lot of things I learned on the process. So these are a couple of people who I wanted to mention.
So, adding to the my previous question, so what are the important uh, values you admire as a leader?
Values, one one value is you need to have that habit of accepting whatever it is. You need to start accepting the way it is.
Right.
Second is consistency
Mm-hmm.
in whatever we are doing, let it be in a professional front or in a personal front. Keeping things on a consistent is also very important. Say for example, especially if you're into freelancing industry, there are times where there'll be business, there are times where there'll be no business, but still you will have to show up in your digital presence, or in your online presence.
Right.
Third is discipline. Today motivation and a lot of things is overly spoke, but apparently or unfortunately discipline is something it's not spoken much today.
Right.
So these are the three things what I would say as a leader you need. And an empathetic ear.
Right. Yes. Really very important. So, what do you consider your most significant career achievement so far?
One corporate training and this TEDx talk. Because that corporate training one of the project which came through a reference.
Okay.
And it was a direct client. It was not through anyone. It's one training which I enjoyed the most.
Okay. Great.
Yes, and my TEDx talk, which I completed.
How did you encountered with the TEDx? How did that happen?
Okay. So that happened. I think this dream of mine of becoming TEDx speaker started when I was in my eighth or in my ninth grade. Since back then, I used to listen to 5 to 6 talks every day. Let it be YouTube, let it be podcasts in some form. I keep listening to different podcasts, different TEDx talks, and the kind of energy and the vibe, the energy which they brought into the room was huge. And first time in 2015 or 2016, I got a chance to be in the audience front on a on a TEDx event in Cochin, in my own city. Down the lane, 4 5 years in 24, I became a TEDx speaker by myself. Yes, that's how I got into TEDx. 23,
Wow.
I applied through an I saw a Instagram reel for call for speakers.
Okay.
I applied. See, getting through or not getting through was a secondary thing, but
Yes,
I
sir.
applied,
Yes,
and
taking
somehow
that
I
one
got
step
through
is
one
really
week before
important.
they called. Yes,
Right. Yeah. That one step turns your whole life to another level, and it takes to the another path altogether. Right.
yes. It takes. So that
So,
was a life changing moment.
yes. So, coming to your life-changing moment. So, what are the positive culture you maintain to motivate yourself and your team?
See, one is to always have something which will, you know, make sure that team comes and informs or communicates you to at any point of time. Say, for example, out of work, what are the other extra activities you have with your team members that you have that interaction, an informal interaction, because that informal interactions makes it little better for them. Okay, we can go communicate whatever it is. We should give them that kind of a support, or that kind of a hope that okay, whatever issue, they should come and communicate. What happens if they don't come and communicate? We get into bigger troubles.
Right. Yes. Correct.
But when everybody's it is gets sorted. But if you're going and talking to one person individually, the problem is going to grow bigger, or it more creates more chaos in between us, which is difficult to entangle it later. But if everyone is at one place, it's easy. We can resolve and then go forward as to what can we do next.
Right. So, how do you see the corporate training evolving, and is there any involvement of AI in corporate training process? So, how do you see that?
See, right now, AI is everywhere. You go to a corporate, you go to a college, everywhere there is AI. But right now, this is something which I felt is need of the hour is creating awareness around emotional intelligence.
Oh,
Because different individuals come from a different background. In
right.
a team, you'll have diverse cultures. From different cultures, you'll have people.
Hmm.
But okay,
Right.
different individuals level have different problems. Their personal should not come into their professional front. Professional front should not go to their personal front.
Right.
So handling emotions. So that's where empathy plays a big role.
Hmm.
So this is something creating awareness of emotional intelligence. But before that, identifying your trigger points. What makes you hungry? What makes you irritated? Why? Because no emotions comes out of the blue. It comes because of the thought or something which has happened in the past. Very simple. All of us are working today. Unfortunately, we start dumping our emotions, and it comes back in a different form, either as an outburst, or we get it's like a pressure cooker.
Right.
This is one thing that we need to start creating awareness even in a corporate culture.
Yeah.
Simple, I'll tell you, fun Fridays or something fun activity, they get that time to unwind a little so that they come back to their work, with better ideas in their mind. So giving that half an hour or 45 minutes break or something fun to do, you'll get recharged rather than overdoing the same work over and over again.
Yes, right. Correct. Okay, we'll move to the next one. So, how do you adapt your leadership during a time of crisis or uncertainty?
Is it something in our control? No.
Hmm.
But should we be worried about it? I will not say don't be worried about it, be aware about it. Be prepared. Don't imagine always that worst is going to happen. You can be prepared, but you need to know what is the worst which can come. But don't we start becoming anxious about thinking of what worse will happen, but rather change it and you be prepared, because when you're prepared, you know to what intensity any situation can arise for you. So
Right.
being prepared is the key here, but not giving your emotions the driver's seat, or not
Right.
allowing your anxiety to take control over you. But you be prepared. See, uncertainty, failures, challenges is always going to be there, but it's always be staying updated as an organization or as an individual. It is our responsibility to stay updated, and for those who are not informed, making them also aware. Okay, this is the thing. It is like you don't go prepare for a war when you are at a war, but you prepare yourself before the war. So before war preparation is more important.
Right.
Uncertainty is going to be there, problems will come, but keeping yourself aware and prepared makes it.
Right. Yes. So, adding to the your awareness point, so what are the habits and practices you have been following for your success?
uh, Even if you're working in a full time, even if you're working as an entrepreneur or as a freelancer, first is you need to be out of your screen time for some time.
Yes.
We all have the tendency morning the minute we wake up, this gadget is the first thing we pick up, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think first we need to not, don't feed your mind instantly with something negative, with your bombarded messages, with your bombarded mails in the first hour in the morning. At least say for first 1 hour you don't touch your phone. Do some practices as to what is comfortable for you. Say it can be just sitting quietly, reading your favorite book, or sipping that tea or coffee, whatever you like in the morning. But before starting all these things, getting yourself hydrated is the key. This can sound very simple, but it's the practices what, because different people have different priorities. So understanding what is your priority. See, if you can spend 8 to 9 to 10 hours for somebody working for someone else, why don't we take that half an hour to 1 hour for ourselves in the morning and before you end your day? One, I'm a very ferocious reader. I read a lot. And I try out myself also, even at work. In both ways, I try. Whatever works, I keep it. Whatever doesn't work, I just leave it.
Hmm.
Staying updated is another key. And you need to be a lifelong learner. You cannot just be in the mindset that I know everything. Maybe
Yeah.
then you are in the wrong room.
So you talked about lifetime learner. So what are you currently learning and working on to improve your skills and your leadership skills?
Say, for example, there's a difference between you going delivering a leadership training for a corporate versus for college students. Every time I cannot just go repeatedly keep saying the same thing over and over again wherever I go. For corporates, each industry will be different. It has different working mechanism.
Hmm.
Say the way you train a leadership team in a fashion store will be different to training a leadership team in an automobile segment will be different. Understanding the client or the organization needs, depending on that, delivering a training is what as a trainer I do. It's not what I have in hand I give it, but it is what I give them what the client wants.
Right.
That is the key. It's not just about you delivering the same information over and over again, but adding two, three extra new things to the your content makes a difference.
Right. Yes. Correct. Valid point. So would you like to add on anything from your end? If I missed anything to ask.
See, I'll just only tell you one thing. There is no competitor. The competition is always versus you. Are you
Yeah.
better than yesterday? Well and good.
Right. Yes.
But
Correct.
if you're working for someone, if you're working in an organization, what best can you bring on the table every day?
Hmm. Right.
Maybe something new or something creative or something, whatever it is. But understanding that organizations values their mission. If your value system and the organization value system goes together, you can do wonders.
Right. Yes. Correct.
This is
Thank
one
you.
thing what I would say.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It was really nice talking with you. And thank you for sharing the uh, information with our readers and audience. It will be really helpful for our readers, obviously, and for all the corporate trainers who are looking forward to have a career. And obviously, we look forward to your next TEDx. So
Yes.
we'll finish this here. And yes, thank you.
Thank you so
Darshani.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.